Alice Brady, who's lived in town for more than 3 decades and has worked for the North Providence School Department since 1995. Brady also has a son who works for the North Providence Police Department and another son who's a member of the North Providence Fire Department. And that raises this question. If you work for the school department and you also have sons on the fire and the police department,
yes,
does that set up any potential conflict for you on voting?
That was a concern that I had as well. So the first initiative that I took upon myself to gain information on that, on my status and on my relationships with my children working for the municipal government in town, was to go before the Ethics Commission, and they ruled on my case on June 22nd.
The advisory opinion says that nothing in the ethics code or state law prohibits someone who works for the town or has relatives who work for the town from holding elective office. But it cautions Brady needs to be careful when discussing or voting on any specifics that would affect her or her family. In Brady's case, that means 3/4 of the entire town budget. The police department accounts for 10%, the fire department 13%, and the school department 52%, for a total of 75% of the budget. Last year, the 3 Bradys combined earned nearly $250,000 from taxpayers. Alice Brady made $85,000, Officer John Brady made just shy of $73,000, and firefighter Ted Brady pulled in more than $67,000, for a total of $225,000. Fire, police, and school. Is that fair to your constituents to say, look, I'm hamstrung in all 3 areas from talking specifics? When you're up there, isn't the inclination to want to, you're on the council, to want to discuss that and make policy? Isn't that part of being a councilwoman?
The inclination is to do what's best for my constituents. I'm responsible to answer to them and only the taxpayers. I'm not responsible to support anyone in particular department, including the school department in which I'm employed in.
At last week's council meeting, Mayor Charles Lombardi appeared personally to talk about a contract modification he had negotiated with the town's police union that the mayor says will save the town nearly $1 million. And Lombardi was asking for the council's approval of the agreement. We spoke with Brady before the meeting started. Now, are you going to be able to talk and vote on that one?
It won't affect, as long as it doesn't affect my son, and it may impact the police department.
But it would affect your son, would it not?
Would it not affect my son?
Right. The item that's on, just as an example tonight, the items that aren't, wouldn't that affect your son because it's a contract situation?
As far as the contract situation, my intention is to, out of an abundance of caution, to discuss that with council. And
out of an abundance of caution, Brady ultimately decided to recuse and remove herself, leaving the stage when the police item came up, becoming a spectator from the front row while the rest of the council peppered the mayor with questions. Brady wound up having to repeat the same scenario a short time later when a matter involving the fire department came up, before returning to take her seat with her fellow council members for the remainder of the meeting. I'm just wondering if that's frustrating for you not to be able to vote. Those 3 departments together account for 75% of the town budget. And in effect, you're on the sidelines when it comes to the details of each one of those. And I'm just saying, how does that allow you to be fully up there representing your district if you're shackled in effect and not able to talk specifics about that? You don't see that as a problem?
I would say when it comes to the larger budget, I am not precluded from voting on the budget as a whole. And my understanding, as I said, I am certainly welcome to go back to the Ethics Commission for any specifics regarding their ruling for more definition.
In North Providence, Jim Hummel for the Hummel Report.